Now we are going to create a project. So create project, click here, click in the create project. Either you can click on this file and you can click create project. To create a project, you can click by the create project option. Either you can go to the file and you can click the create project. So now when you will click the create project, the create project dialog box will open. Create project dialog box will open. Okay. Now in this create project dialog box, in the left side you will get this option window, and here you will get the additional search, and in the right side you will find different kind of the templates. So here we are going to create a blank project. You can use LabVIEW projects to group together LabVIEW files and non-LabVIEW files, create builds, specification, other deploys, and downloaded file. You must use a project to build application and shared library. You, are, you also must use a project to work with a Windows embedded standard, RT modules, or FPGA target. The LabVIEW real-time and FPGA modules add a functionality to LabVIEW development system, and you must open and use. So whenever you want to work with the real-time modules, FPGA modules, whenever you want to design any project, a compact concepts, so you can use project. Using the project, you can manage the n number of files, which I will teach today. So now click the blank projects. After that, hit the finish button. You will get the finish button at the bottom. When you will click the finish button, it will take few seconds, and after that it will open a project explorer dialog box, a project explorer window, a project explorer dialog box. It will open a project explorer window. Project explorer window. This project explorer window, this project explorer window manage all those essential things related to the project. Whatever you will design, you can use to control that project, and all those other items you can use create project window. Project in LabVIEW consists many kinds of VIs, file necessary to use or run properly the window, supplements file, other documents, or file related links. You can use the project explorer window to manage project in LabVIEW, okay, files and then folders and others. So it is a project explorer window. So to design this project, we need one hardware, we need one target system, we need one hardware. Right now the target system is our PC. Right now this project explorer window is present virtually in our PC. It's present virtually in our PC. To convert this virtual project into the real, we can save this project in our PC. So for that, right click here and try to save. When you will try to save, it will redirect you in your PC anywhere. Either you can see it's redirecting me inside the summer internship day 4. So here I am going to create a new folder day 5. Inside the day 5, I am creating one more project folders, my first project. My first project, inside the my first project, I am going to save this project with the name of my project 1. My project 1. Now you can see here my project 1. Okay, the name has been changed automatically. My project 1. When you will done, inform me. Then we go to the next step. Thank you to motivate me. Thank you. Now this basic project is present in my first project is present in my PC. I have saved this project. Let's try to open this project and try to find where it is present and how it's look like. Now here inside the document, inside the dev 5, my first project folder, inside my first project folder, you will get this LabVIEW projects and others. Now you can see the extension is here. The extension is .lvproj. So it is your second homework. First homework I have given day before yesterday to find what is the difference between the vi .vi.vim, okay, and .vipm. Now it's your work to find how many extensions are present in LabVIEW and what is the meaning of the .lvproj. .lvproj. So extension of LabVIEW is .lvproj. Now you can see. Okay. Now I am going to create one VI because whatever the code we want to write or we can write that code on this VI. So now right click and create a VI. Create a VI. Right click in my computer, create a VI. When you will click and create a VI, show untitled front panel will come. Untitled front panel and block diagram will open. Now you can see the untitled front panel of my project. Untitled front panel on my project 1. Untitled block diagram is my project 1. Okay. Now come here. Okay. So untitled front panel and title block diagram has been opened. Let's try to write one code, complete code here. Today in this code writing session, we will learn so many things. We will learn so many things. We are going to create one. We are going to create one signal generator, random signal generator. Before to design that random signal generator, come here. Before design that random signal generator, come here and right click, come to the random number generator and take this random number generator. Take this random number generator. Random number generator. When you will take the random number generator and after that open the label random number generator 0 to 1, press Ctrl H and try to press Ctrl H and read the content. Random number generator produce a double precision floating point between 0 and 1. The number generated is greater than or equal to 0 but always less than 1. The distribution is ununiform. It means each and every time it will generate a different numbers. each and every time it will generate a different number. Okay, random number generator. A random number generator, each and every time it will display, it will generate a different number. It's clear. And the maximum number will be always less than 0 and minimum number will be equal to 0. So it will generate well number between 0 and 1. So right click and you can create indicator. Now you will run. When you will run, so you will get, now each and every time whenever you will run, you will get a new data. It will generate number between 0 and 1. The number will not equal to 1 and never will be go less than 0. Number will always greater than or equal to 0 and less than 1. Now, so what is the range of the number? So range of the number is 0 and 1. Now I want to increase the range of number. Now I want to increase the range of number. How can I increase the range of number? Now I want to increase the range of numbers. So please tell me, how can we increase the range of number?
Multiply the take the multiplier.
Yes, we can use multiply. Here, take a multiply functions. And whatever the range you want, you can create control. And here we can specify the range. Range. After the multiply, we can create indicator. A random number in a range. Random number. Okay. So this value will generate display you random number, and this value will display you a random number with range. Now whatever the value you will put, your random number will come between the range. Now my random number will generate between 0 and 2. Okay, value will not go ever equal to 2. Every time the maximum number will be equal to, sorry, always less than 2. Now I am going to save this program. Save this program with the name up. So when I will try to save it, so it will save okay, inside the my first project. So here I am going to save the my project, and the project name will be random number in range, in range. I have shared two to three videos today. One is for the numeric data type, one is for the string, and one for the numeric representation. Please watch and try to practice at your home. Now this program is associated here. Now I can close the program. Again I want to open a VI here. Okay, so someone has asked the question, sir, can you only get a natural number cannot be decimal value from every time it will generate a fractional number. Okay, every time it will generate fractional number, and if you want, so you can take this random number. Now let's try to manipulate this program and design a code. Let's try to manipulate the program and design a code where we can generate number from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, if you want, so please save this program. We'll do it later. Remember me. Please remind me in the future. I will teach you how can we do it. At the day 3, we have write one code here. String, input, and we had created one output. I want to count how many characters are present in my input string. I want to count how many characters are present in my input string. I want to count how many characters are present in my input string. So how can I find? Okay. If I want to count how many characters are present in my input string, so how can I count? So for that we can use string count functions. Come into the string function palette and take a string count functions here and place. Still your hand is not fixed with the LabVIEW and you are new. That's why I am teaching only this kind of basic program. String length. After the taken string length, we need one indicator. We need one indicator. Why we need one indicator? Because I want to display how many characters are present in this national instruments. Okay. So we don't know what kind of output we will take here. Either we can take numeric indicators, we can take numeric indicator to display our value, and we can write string string length, and we can connect. So as a programmer, it is a long process, so I will not do these things. I don't know what kind of indicator it will generate, so I will right click here and I will create indicator. Twenty characters. National and instruments is 19 characters and one is the space. I have shared one video today. Please watch that video, that is about the string and design. I am going to save this program with the name of string. Okay. I think now right click, take a new VI. I think you have seen this kind of arrangement in LabVIEW. Sorry, whenever you try to apply a form, so you find every time you find this kind of things. First name, last name, first name, last name, first name, last name. This okay. First name and last name. Now you can see here there are two numeric. Sorry, here we have taken two string control. One is for the first name and last name. So now we can take. Now I want to add both and display only one. I want to add and display the name in one line. So for that, what I can do? Which functions I can use? Yesterday we had used that functions. If you are following the lectures properly, so you can recall the concepts here. We can use concatenate string function here. I think I am right. Yes, yesterday we had used this functions. So here I am going to write my name Ni Nitesh and Pradhan. So here you can see Nitesh Pradhan both are concatenated, but Nitesh and Pradhan both are concatenated here. But there is one problem. As usually, as a human mindset, always I write Nitesh space Pradhan. As a new code writer, I have written perfect code, but there is missing something. Now here, whatever the code I have written, in this code, I can add two names, my first name and second name, and I can display, okay, I can display my complete name once, right? But I want space. So now we can assume user can put a space after Nitesh. If user will insert one space after Nitesh, so definitely it will display like this. But if and only if user don't want to, if and only if user will not apply or put any space, so in this condition we need to write a generic code. So how can we write the generic code? So here I can drag it once more. I can add this with the third. Look at here in the block diagram. Look at here in string function palette. There is space constant is present. We can take the space constant here, and we can open the label space constant. Now doesn't matter user is applying there is okay. After Nitesh I am providing any space or not. Whenever you want to add more than whenever you want to add more than two string, you can use this kind of functions. If I want, I can teach you one by one all those functions, what the function will do and not. But I don't want to do this kind of stuff this year. I want to give some kind of meaning to each and every program. Please save the program first, then we'll try to edit. So what I'm okay. Now I'm going to save the program with the name of concatenate string functions. Here I am going to copy the program same, copy. I am going to open one new VI, sorry, I am going to close this one. I am going to open one new VI and I am going to paste here same code. What I am trying to do here, just think, if user will enter space up, if user will enter space after the first name and space after the second name, but we need to control the characters. If I will apply space after Pradhan, so it will give me one more characters here, space characters. If I will apply two space here, so it will show me two space here. It will add more than two space. Okay. So now our logic is flawed. We don't know how user will work, how user will enter. Okay. If user will enter two space after the name and two space after the surname, okay, so it will display, our code will display same two space. Now I want to control complete user action. How I want to control the complete user actions? I want to eliminate the space. Okay, I want to eliminate this kind of space, the space which is provided by user at the end of the name. If user is provide any space at the end of the name, so I want to eliminate here. So what can I do? Here, right click, come here, come to the string. Now there is string subset, match pattern, replace string. Okay, search and replace. I want to, okay, search and replace. So here I am going to use search and replace functions. Here I am going to use search and replace functions. and this number will be my input string. Okay, so if I will search here, so what I will be replaced? So this function is not appropriate, not a correct function. So here I will take only search. So there is any search functions, replace is here, search and replace here, match patterns. Can I try to use this? Yes, I can use this match pattern. I can connect here. After that I can use this space constant same. I can copy here, I can use. Now you can see so many time I am using same functions. So to reduce the program size, I can eliminate and I can take the space constant data from one place. Now press Ctrl H to know what is the functions and what it will perform. Please read it carefully. The input is string, a regular expression, whatever you want to search. Before, okay, before substring, match substring, after. Now here I am going to search it. Before, and in the before, when I will run, I will get Nitesh. Here I am going to apply the space, okay, but after that here I will not find any space. So here I can use this, sorry, here I can use this logic directly here. Control B. In this way I can control my user action, okay. Now I think the match patterns concept is clear and the concatenating string functions concept is clear to you, where you can use and how you can use. Yes, Mahalakshmi, right? Now if you want you can ask any question. Yeah, using match patterns, okay. Here I am going to press Ctrl H. Please read. Please read it. Using match patterns, I can, if user will apply the space here and user will apply space here, so it is a waste of data. If user will apply 1 2 3 space here, okay. If user will apply 1 2 3 space here, so after this, if the program is same, if the program is just like previous program, as like here I am going to open the previous program, concatenating string. Okay, look at here. If user will apply NITES at Nitesh space PRADHAN Pradhan and one space, so program will look like this. So whatever the space here, I want to remove the space. Why? Because inside the code I had already assigned one space here. Okay, so to find where that space is present, I am using the match pattern. Okay, this offset will give me that information where that space is present. This offset will give me information where the space is present after in this last name. Here I am going to present the space. It will tell me after NITES at 6 characters, in the 7th characters the space is present. Okay, in the 7th location the space is present. PRADHAN 7 characters, and the 8th position the space is present. But here I am getting this before substring. Okay, I am getting this functions automatically. It is inbuilt inside the program before substring. So I am using the same concept here without any problem. I can use, no need to write hard and fast code. So what is the benefit? What is the benefit to write this kind of code? What is the benefit to write this kind of code? Just think in a database. Just think in a database. Name is written NITES at Nitesh PRADHAN Pradhan. Sorry, PRADHAN Pradhan. In my database, Nitesh Pradhan is written like this. Okay. And now I'm going to open the previous program again. Just think in the database, the Nitesh Pradhan is written like this here in database. Just think in the database, Nitesh Pradhan is written like this. And here, if I will enter NITES at Nitesh, Nitesh after space, PRADHAN after Pradhan, I will apply one more space. And if I want to count, if I want to compare, both are same or not. Okay, so now the both are not same. Why? Because after the Nitesh there is two space, and after the Pradhan there is one more space. Getting the point? We don't know na user how user will behave. Each and every time we need to write a program as okay program. Just we need to think how user will behave and how user will use. Now, if here I have entered one more space, two space, and if I will run the program, so I will okay. So Nitesh Pradhan, the database name and my insert name are not okay. My current entered name are not same. So for that I need to write Nitesh and Pradhan. So now it will be the same. So we don't know how user will react, how user will enter the value. That's why we need to control each and everything. Think like a programmer. Okay. First, for the problem statement, think like a programmer, and for the output, for the use, think like a user. And in this program, in this code, if I will use the comparators to compare, the database name is same as my enter name. So here you can check the output. run. If I will enter 2 to 3 space after this, still it will be a run, same. Okay, why? Because as per our program we can eliminate the extra spaces. Control, I am going to save the program. Concatenate string functions are name, add, program. Okay, now if you have done, so tell me, so we can go to the next. Please inform when you will done. Okay, okay, okay. If space is present like a Venkat space Sai, so each and every time we ask only first name and second name, maximum time. If you are writing the code like how can we add third name, so just use middle for the middle name. Okay, for the middle name you can use, sorry, not here. For the middle name, increase this one, sorry, just here I am going to delete. Okay, if you want, so here you can write middle name, and in the middle name you can use same logic once. Maximum people write one and two name. Okay, one name, two name, and three, not more than that. Next of the time, one, two, and three. So you can write same thing, same logic here. Right click, create indicator. Now here I am going to, now here let's try to write a program to display today's time and today's time, date time and today's date time. Let's try to write a program for today's to display today's date and time. Right click here, right click here, come into the format date time string, format date time string here. Right click, open the label, create indicator. It will now you can display your current date and time. Right click, create constant, percent d, percent b, percent capital Y or small y. Here I am taking small y. Time, time, percent capital H, percent capital M, percent capital S, capital S, and run. Okay. There is one program you can write in a three-way. When you will done, inform me, sir. Okay, tomorrow is Saturday. Please, we'll meet tomorrow again. Okay. Any problem to come tomorrow? Here I want to set. Here I want to set something. What I want to set? There's three input. Right click. Sorry. Right click. Create. Three input. Three output. Click here. Click. Click here. Click. Click here and click. Same like yesterday's concept. Save as. Close. Now I had converted this format date time string into a sub vi, right? As we created yesterday some sub VIs, so I can drag directly from my setup to run this one and to generate to create all indicators to display the data. Here, look at here. All of you, please look at here. All of you, please look at here and try to design this thing clearly. Right click. I am going to create one setup a program. Setup a program. So right click, come into the new, and there is one virtual folder. There is one virtual folder. There's one virtual folder. Create this virtual folder. It is a folder, but this folder is not present in our PC. This folder is not present in our PC. Okay, so this it is a virtual folder. Here in my PC, in my PC, in my computer, 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 5 program. Here I am going to create one more folder, and folder name will be string string program. Okay, string program. Now how I right click, come here, create a new folder. Now right click, right now this folder is virtual folder. This folder is not present in my program, my PC. So here I am going to convert this folder into the auto populating folder. I'm going to convert this folder into the auto populating folder. So for that I will right click, I will come here and I will convert it into the auto populating folder. For the auto populating folder I am going to select this string program, and here the select folder, I can hit the select folder. Please click the select folder. Okay, now you can see it has been changed. Again I am going to show you how can I do. Right click, come here, create a folder, right click on the folder, click to the convert it to the auto populating string. Now here I am going to move my program inside the folder. Sorry. No problem. I am going to move my all folders program here, 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 save. Now you can see here the two kinds of files are present here. Okay, why? Because one file has been, the file was earlier, all those file was outside of the folder. When I, okay, all those file was the outside of this my folder. Now when I move my files inside the folder, so I am getting this. So can I remove from the project? Yes. Whenever I will, okay, when I will remove all these things from my folder, so this conflict has been automatically removed. Okay, now I can save. Here I am teaching you how can we manage our program, libraries and others. Here I am going to create one more folder, virtual folder, and the virtual folder, okay, here the virtual folder, here I am clicking one folder, making one folder boolean. Now I am going to select this boolean, I am convert it into the auto populating. So my next folder will be a boolean folder. Now whatever the code we will try to write, we will write inside the boolean folder. Okay. There is one sub vi also. There is one sub vi. This one is my sub vi. Format date and time. But here I am not using. Okay. We will do it later. Right click, new vi. Write a code to perform. Write a code to check and logic. And logic. Write a code to check and logic. So here I am going to take one. Okay. Here I am going to take right click. From the modern style, I am taking one vertical toggle for A. I am taking one more vertical toggle for B. If you are not able to find and you only want to work with the NXG style, so no worry. Take a boolean. Either you can take these functions also. Vertical slide A, and you can take the vertical slide one more, that will be a B. A and B. Okay. Right click, come here, come to the boolean and take AND button and check. So it is a basic program. No need to do anything, no need to write any logic. Okay, common concepts. If both are the one, so output will be a 1. Both are high, so output will be high. If anyone is 0, so output will be the 0, right? So you can check it. Now the problem is not here. What I am trying to teach you, the problem is not here. Now tell me when I will connect one numeric control that is A and another numeric control that is B. I will connect this numeric control with AND logic. Now please tell me what will be the output. A and B. Sorry, B. A, B. Okay. Now if my as you if you think AND logic is a multiplication logic and is a multiplication logic, so it is totally wrong. 0 and 0 is 0. 1 and 0 0. 0 and 1 0. 1 and 1 is 1. Now please tell me what what will be the output when I will take 2 and 1. Any guesses? The output of 2 and 1 will be 0. Output of 2 and 1 will be the 0 always. Output of 2 and 2 will be a 2. Output of 3 and 1 will be a 2. Output of 3 and 3 will be 3. Output of 4 and 3 will be 0. Yes, it is by operation. So now I am going to show you where the bit is present and how. This dBl is a floating number. This dBl is a floating number. I had shared one video related to the numeric representation. Please watch that video. I will not explain. So this this dBl is a floating number. Look at here, dear students, what I am trying to do. Right click, come into the representations. Right click, come into the representations. I am taking unsigned integer u8. Here I am taking unsigned integer u8. And here I am taking unsigned integer u8. I had converted all A, B and C by right clicking, representation, unsigned integer. Please convert it first. Have you done? Okay, nice. Now, right click, come into the property. Right click in the A and come into the property. Right click in the A and come into the property. So it is a numeric property of A. So here I am going to click A, B. Okay, select A, select B and right click and look at here. Here I am going to right click and click in the property. So you will get the property of A. Here I am trying to select property of B. But here I am trying to select the property A, B and B, all three property. Notifying three objects. So whatever I will made change, that change will be for all these three objects A, B and B. A, B, A and B. So here using one functions I can change the property of all these three A, B and C. Data type U8 display format I am going to set the binary. Display format I am going to set the binary. Then okay. Now come into the front panel. So when it will be a 0, when it will be a 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 1, 2, 0, 1. So now you can add, you can perform the add options 2 and 2. So 1, okay, 1 and 0, 1 and 0, 1, 1. So now add operation has been done. And operations and yes sir. Select A, B, sorry, select A, right click on the A, come into the property. When you will come into the property, you will get the appearance, data type, data entry, display formats. So in the display format, you can select the binary. Same for the come B, come into the data formats, select binary. Same for the indicators, right click, come into the properties A and B and select the binary. Hmm. Here I am going to close the program, right click, take a new VI. Take a new VI. Now in this new VI, take a boolean. Now this boolean is a indicator type. Now this boolean is an indicator type. I want to change this boolean to control type. Okay. This boolean is an indicator type right now. This boolean LED. It is a LED and this LED is an indicator type. I want to change it into the control type. So to change it into the control type, right click, change it into the control. Change it into the control. So now this LED is an input type, means control type. You can create indicators for the same. Here, right click, come into the boolean data type. You will get boolean to 0 1. Now using this program, you can right click, create indicator, and create indicator. Run. If it will glow true, that means it will generate 1. When it will be a false, so it will be when it will be false means off, so it will be 0. It is just a useless program. When you will done, inform. Come into the block diagram, right click here, from the boolean number to array. Using this program we can learn number to decimal to binary conversion. Decimal to binary conversion. So here I am right clicking, open the label, right click here, create a control, and that will be a number. I am going to change the representations. I am going to change the representation here. Representation means right click. I am going to change it the representation U8. What I have done, again I am going to show you. Right click, come to the boolean number to array. Right click, open the label, right click, create constant, sorry, control, change the label, sorry, change the representations I8, because I, okay, Tarun Kumar, because I love U8. The reason is we can count and we can analysis the U8 easily. Okay, we can count, we can use U8 easily, because 2 to the power 8 is 256. So we can count and we can control the flow of numbers easily. U8. Why I am going to, I will tell you. Now create indicators. here you will get Boolean indicator. In the last program we used one logic. The logic was Boolean to 1 0. So we can connect same functions here for the Boolean to 1 0. It will be a numeric array. So now the concept why I am taking only 8, because here we can read it easily. Okay, if I will take if I will if I will take I8, so I can read it easily. Now you can see by default it is U16. Okay, in place of 8, if I will, sorry, before that I am going to run and show the output. Before that I want, okay, for 0 1, for the 1 1, 2 0 1, 3 1 1, 4 5 6 7 8. So for the 255, if here I will take it 16 bit or 32 bits, 16 bit. So I need, okay, 16 bit means I need to target 16 bit to analysis and, okay, so here I need to what can I say? So here it will give the output on the basis of 16 bit. So 16 bit is not so much easy to control when you was trying to learn something. That's why I am taking the lowest version, I8. Now you can see so here you can see it is a one boolean, sorry, decimal to binary converter. Now you can see, sir, there is MSB is LSB and LSB is MSB, right? It's just opposite, MSB to LSB and LSB to MSB, right? It's perfect and your question is also correct. So here I can change. Now if you have done, so look at here, it is last exercise for today. Right click, come into the array and you will get a reverse 1D array. Right click, come into the array, you will get reverse, you will find reverse 1D array here. Please take reverse 1D array. Right click in the block diagram, come into the array, you will find a reverse 1D array here. So take the reverse 1D array, place here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 101. Okay. Can I take a graph here? Right click in the front panel, sorry, right click in the front panel. I want to take one graph here. Right click in the front panel, come into the graph and take a waveform graph. Place here. I am going to reduce the size of graph. Okay, we can reduce the size of graph and maximum will be the 8 bit. So here I am going to set 8. It's a graph. I can take the graph from the graph palette. you can take it from the graph palette. So right click, graph, you can take waveform graph, run. Lines. Okay. Sixteen. Okay. For more, so here I can write -1, and here I can write 2, -1 and 2, and after that X scale, stop auto scaling. Sorry, yes, Y scale. Here I can right click, I can right click in the waveform graph. I can right click in the waveform graph. I can come to the Y scale and I can switch off the auto scaling. Here I can click and I can change the I. So let's start it from the 1. 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 1, 8. So thank you for today.